Hello, everybody. It's me, Kirsten. Hello, Happy New Year. Welcome back. Welcome back to our little circle, our little virtual sacred circle. It is the week of January 10th. We have arrived here in 2025. I hope and pray that you took advantage of this in between time, this liminal space, this void space that happened between the solstice and the new year. I hope that you were able to just settle, even if it was 24 hours, 1 hour, a week, whatever time you could take, whatever time you could dedicate to like allowing it all to fall away, like allowing all the old stuff to fall away, allowing all of the integration to happen. It cannot be overstated. It cannot be overstated that whatever you yearn for, whatever you are moving towards, whatever you are blossoming into, whatever you are hoping to become or offer this world, it can't happen without these integration moments. You cannot reset your nervous system, your body, your spirit. You cannot reset these incarnated energies without the moment of rest. Think about it like any good workout, right? Any good workout. You work the muscles, you experience the burn, and then you integrate. You allow your muscles to take the new shape. The same is true for your nervous system. And yes, soul, spirit, it is instant and immediate and infinite, but it exists in a form in this lifetime on this planet. And so it has to be appreciated that we are material beings, right? We are material spiritual beings. And this call to integrate, this call to pause, this call to exhale is so important. It's so key. And it's so rich. I talked about that before I left into my own like void experience, that we imagine that the void or emptiness or rest or quiet is a place of nothingness. Nothing, right? It's just empty. It will be activating there. I'll be sad there. I'll get lost there. And the opposite is true. Like it's such a rich place. It wants to whisper to you. It wants to feed you. It wants to replenish you. And I hope that you were able to, in some way, experience that over these past weeks. 2025 came in like a wild man, and there's so much energy happening right now. There's so much transformation happening right now. And you were called to rest. We were called to rest for a reason. I will say that the 9 year, the Hermit year, is people think of Hermit as, again, like a withdrawal. And that's true. There's a call back to your soul, a call back to, what am I doing here? What's happening? Why am I here? What really matters to me? What is my true north? That is true. We have culturally this idea that happens in solitude. And while there's a truth to that, like there's a truth to the fact that the only one who can really navigate your soul's journey is you, there's also a truth to the fact that the star that the hermit holds, that they carry, is as important as the cloak. And so it's this invitation, the 9 year, to be really clear about your boundaries. Who's coming with you? Who's supporting this best version of you? Who's supporting the work you want to do? And who needs to walk a different path? Who's here meant to do something else in other environments with other people? And the reason that the hermit carries the light is because they show that there is a new path to walk. They show the way they're the way shower. You are the way shower. We are the way showers. In some aspect of your life, in some area of your life, you are walking where no one has walked. I've been thinking about this with manifestation. There's so many invitations and maybe possible pressure around this time of year to like new year, new you. And what are you looking for? And what do you want to build? And what are you imagining? And what are you visioning? I want to remind you that take input and inspiration from the world. Take all of the things that inspire you and light you up and even cause you to feel a little jealous or envious. Take all of those things as input, as inspiration, as the palette that you use to paint your vision, your idea of what's next. But realize, and I'm going to tell you this truth, when it comes to you, when it's your alignment, when it's your movement, it's so much more beautiful than anyone else's because it's made for you. It's like custom fit, custom tailored. So you can have a vision board this is what I want. But when you find yourself in the vision, like when you find yourself in the dream, It's so satisfying, it's so beautiful, it's so right. It's like when you hug someone that you love and it's just you just feel so right. It's that feeling, but with your life. So while I invite you to get excited and inspired by the world around you, take any of that envy or jealousy or thought of how it should be and realize that those are just doorways, those are just gateways. It's because someone has activated something that you long for, that you miss, and you don't have to have it the way they have it. You're going to get it in a way that feels even better. I just want to say that it's just true. And we have to remember this came through so clearly in the 8 year, and it's something that is going to carry with us in this year ahead. It's like a lesson, like a tool in our little pouch that we should bring with us into the next year. Trust what you feel about the world. Trust what you feel about people. So there's going to be we're just in this like interesting place of illusions. We're in this interesting place where the lies, the darkness is like on display, and you can get so distracted by that. You can get this sense of that's what truth is. Like that's where I need to focus. But then behind it, you feel something else. Like you feel another energy or another story. Trust this one. The presentation, the illusion is just that. And there's something that really got pulled apart. It's almost like something got torn apart last year where you began to see the difference. Like you had these intuitive hits, like you had these ideas of this is a good place for me, this is not a good place for me, but you couldn't quite distinguish. You didn't have the evidence to back it up. You're just like, I don't know, it's like a weird feeling. And then last year it got torn apart. Oh shit, excuse my language. I was right the whole time. That wasn't a good place for me. That feeling I had about the thing was actually the truth. The dance, the story, the illusion in front of it was just smoke and mirrors. That's carrying with us, especially right now. You open any newspaper, you go out in the world, and what's being told to you is darkness. What's being told to you is be afraid. And obviously, we are autonomous, authoritative beings in our lives. So you do what you need to do to keep yourself safe. But check in with what is true. What's really happening here? What's really happening in my moment, in my world, in my space? Where am I called to be of service? Where am I called to be of service with myself? We cannot save the world, but we damn straight, we can get really clear about who we are. We can get really grounded into the medicine that we are here to bring to the world. And we can do that work with fierceness, and we can change the world that way. But we can't change the world out there. We can't disappear into some other drama and hope that that's getting caught in that triangle, that like rescuer victim, who's the bad one, the bully, that triangle of disempowerment, right? If we're in that game at all, if we think we need to save the world, if we think the world is out to get us, if we think we have to dominate the world, if we're anywhere in that triangle, we are trapped, dude. We are trapped. The goal, the liberated soul, wants to step out of that triangle, wants to be with themselves, wants to work on themselves, knowing that there's no way to work on yourself without serving the world. Those are one and the same. Serve ourselves is to serve love, and to serve love is to serve the world. Okay, I'm getting off on a tangent. I guess I just missed you guys. And I'm so actually excited about this year ahead. And I have a million reasons not to be. Like, I could find a million reasons why I should feel afraid about this year, or I should feel insecure about this year. But that's not the truth of what I feel. The truth of what I feel is there's art to be made, there's work to be done, there's community to build, there's community to feed and nurture and nourish. That's exciting to me. There's a revealing. I thought this the other day, like, this message came through of we're entering a time that will abide no lies. Yay. Aho and amen. I am here for it. I like the idea of the veil getting pulled away, the illusions getting pulled away. I have a bunch of things I'm excited about offering you, excited about doing together with you. One of the things I want to bring up before I get into the card of the week, sorry, I'm so chatty today, is that you guys are familiar, I'm sure, with Joe Dispenza's work. I'm sure you're familiar with this guy, Bruce Lipton, both scientists who get called pseudoscientists and who also get called like spiritual leaders and take what you want. I have like thoughts about both of them and thoughts about the work they're doing. I was listening to a lot of like podcasts and taking in a lot of information while I was on vacation and like going into spaces I don't normally go into just to, I don't know, enrich my own work, my own practice. And I've always been struck by this idea that 90% of our thoughts, at least 90%, some people say 95, 95% of our thoughts that we have today, we had yesterday, we had the day before, we will have tomorrow. It takes a great interrupter to act to impact the subconscious, right? So this is what the conscious brain is making meaning and creating stories and building a vision, all of that. But the unconscious mind, the subconscious mind, is where all of the rules are stored. That idea of an assumption versus a presumption. Like all the rules are back there, all the programming's back there. And it's just like bopping off in the rhythms it's always bopped off on. And then we are trying to make changes, but if we don't address the programming, we're on an uphill battle, right? The beliefs that have kept us in contraction, kept us in confusion, if we don't address those, we're really fighting the tide is the best way to say it. Joe Dispenza has this concept of a mind movie, right? So he's trying to get you to engage not just what you envision, but the emotional energetics behind what you envision, and that kind of feeding that. It's like a type of hypnosis, that's what hypnosis is, right? It's resetting those kind of core beliefs, offering new possibilities in our core beliefs, trying to take all the beauty of the positive intentions of what we're trying to achieve, which is love and inclusion and safety and inspiration, and finding better methods of getting those needs met. So this mind movie concept, and it's something that I've heard about and played with, but I really went all in New Year's. And I will tell you that I am super inspired by it. And it's something that I'm going to bring to a workshop because I think everyone should have this. I wish everyone had access to this. And so at the end of January, look for that. I'm going to do a workshop on this. But if you don't want to wait and you're excited, I will tell you this concept of a mind movie is an incredibly powerful way to set your intentions, to ground your intentions in the year ahead for 2025. It's let's stop playing. Let's stop fooling around. Let's stop mm, defaulting to what we've been allowed. Let's stop defaulting to what we thought was possible and let's begin to imagine. I kept having this thought. I was doing a lot of like walking and a lot of time in the water, but I kept thinking like the brakes are off, the doors are off. Let's do it. Let's really do it this year. So if you feel that with me, or if you feel like you wouldn't even know how to access that, join me at this workshop. Let's do this thing together, or just research my movies and make your own if you have the creative chops to do that. Highly encourage you to do it. Basically, image work, mantra work, and music, the energetics of music coming together to make something pretty awesome. Okay. Enough Kirsten catching you up on the 1 million things going through her mind over the past few weeks. On top of all of that, I will just say that this was a time of deep integration for me. Some stories that I've been, some pain, some traumas, yes, but more like the habits around the traumas, like really came to a place of liberation around some of those things with some help of some incredible healers and some time in nature, the great healer. But I will say that it feels really good. And I do pray that in some way you were able to access that same thing. There was this rich moment of let's go dark to let go to rise again. And I hope that you could feel that. Okay, so speaking of energetics, where are we for this week ahead? The card I pulled for us is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, so we'll, as always, review the numerology of this and the suit of this. It's a beautiful place to always start with the minor arcana. Sevens are the number of mystery, number of the things we can't quite grasp. So the processes that the alchemical black box processes that develop something from one form to the next. The egg and the sperm into the baby, the seed into the plant, into the fruit. The things that allow the germination, like kind of the ineffable mysteries that allow nature to continue to transform. And the cups are our emotions, our heart, our feelings. So the Seven of Cups always speaks to this sense of mystery in our heart space, like mystery in our emotional realm. So having a feeling of it. Often this card always speaks to dissatisfaction. So this is one of the more difficult cups cards, because what it speaks to is the sense of waters, the emotional body, the feeling body. It wants substance, like it craves a landing place, like it craves to take form and move. And it doesn't do well in a space of like mistiness. And the Seven of Cups is really a card of mistiness. Like it's literally, you can see there's clouds in the card. One of the things we say about this card is like, it can be the way the songs or the siren songs that the world sings to say to you, like, oh, if you get this, you're going to feel so good. This is going to make you so happy. You're finally going to be able to rest. You're going to be so satisfied. But it is this like this kind of sorcery. And the thing that happens in the Seven of Cups is that you get to this place where you've conquered each of these things or seen each of these ideas of what success is, and you've gathered these things together, and you still feel empty. You still feel this ache. This is what I was saying about manifestation. Don't get confused that you want to feel beautiful, and so your body needs to look like X, or you need to be able to wear Y. Like, no, the feeling is I want to feel so good in my body, so confident, so beautiful, so free. And I might use other people, other energies, other bodies as inspiration for that. But when it lands in my body, that's a whole new ballgame. And the Seven of Cups is a little bit like that. I have these dreams or these siren songs that I keep hearing that, or these seductive harmonies in my mind of what I want, of what will bring me happiness, excitement, satisfaction, comfort. And the Seven of Cups is a little bit like, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. No one really knows what you want. No one really knows what fulfillment feels like to you. You've all heard that classic thing. You don't judge other people's relationships because you don't know what happens behind closed doors, right? You can look at a couple and be like, what are they doing together? But you don't know what that is. You don't know what that sync up is. And so you don't judge it, right? Good, to each his own, right? There's something about that. We really don't know what's going to bring us the lock in, yes, feeling that the Seven of Cups knows you're aching for. So when the Seven of Cups comes in, it's so that's always for the Seven of Cups. This week, there is this sense of the siren song. There is the sense of what's the thing taking you off course? What's the thing trying to get you to crash your ship into the rocks? What's the thing that just keeps drawing your attention? And be wary of that. Be wary of the thing that kind of takes you just a little bit off course. Especially, I imagine those of us who are journeying together, circling together, you probably have an idea of what you want this year to be. You probably do have some, if you haven't made a mind movie, you still have some sense of, no, this is what I'm looking for in 2025. These are the things that matter to me. This is like what I want to cultivate or grow, service, create, be part of in this year ahead. And you might have already made movements towards that. Seven of Cups says, don't let them lead you astray. Don't let them trick you. Don't let them get you with their crazy stories. There's something about this that is reminding you the thing you're searching for is yours. Like that idea of what you seek also seeks you, 100% true. There's so many of us, right? Billions of us on the planet, and yet we're all unique. And we're all here. We have this medicine and this yearning both. We have this thing we come here to serve, and we have this journey we must make to fully be prepared to offer it. And there's something about this appreciation for the fact that what's yours is yours. What you manifest when you dream about a new car and a beautiful body and whatever the thing is you want, like when you get it, that's yours. That's yours. When the work you want to do, that's yours. You might be inspired by other people doing similar work, but you don't have to compete. Like you don't have to compete with them, because when they do it, they're going to do it. And when you do it, you're going to do it. And there is plenty. It's where scarcity mindsets tricks us, right? It tricks us into saying, they're already doing a great job of it. What's the need for me? Why should I work towards creating this? No, dude, no. This is an infinite universe. It's an enormous world we live in. And there are people who need to see your star. Speaking of the hermit, people who need to see the path you walk to say, oh, yeah, I want to go that way. I want to walk that way. I want to journey there. Kim Krantz, obviously, you guys know I love her. The lesson this week we're talking about is the idea of amplification, and she's specifically asking us to look at like where artists amplify other artists. You are the artist of your life, and the work you do, whatever you call it, it is an art. You're dedicated to it, you're devoted to it, you create, that is an art. You have been inspired by other artists, and let other artists inspire you, and then you go out there and you inspire other people. My teachers used to say, you have to honor your teachers. So many people share teachings on Instagram or out in the world, and it's so important to them that they maybe are seen as an authority or seen as the holder of the wisdom, that they don't like reference where these teachings came from. If that's true for you, I invite you to look at that. I invite you to investigate that. There's no ownership around love. There's no ownership around energy and art. There's plenty. Truly, there is plenty. And notice where you get tight with it, either paying it forward or paying it backward. We gotta loosen all this up. That too is a lie, that there's not enough, that you need to compete, especially us women, that we need to compete with each other. That's fucking bullshit. It is bullshit. And it literally uproots us from the garden. It uproots us from the garden, and it takes away our whole root system, which is other empowered, powerful, lit up, turned on women. To be in a community like that, that will allow you to blossom. And your beauty, your blossoming is a gift to the whole community. And when we were told that we needed to compete with other women, we were uprooted. We were disempowered. It is fucking the patriarchy at work. So any place you feel like, if I want this, there won't be enough for other people, or if I have to take this and hold it tight because I don't want someone else to take it from me. What's yours cannot be taken from you. What you are seeking is also seeking you. These things are true. Okay, so the Seven of Cups, I'm yammering on, but this Seven of Cups really wants you to think about what you want. And it wants you to really stay with what you want, honor the truth of what you're calling for, honor the truth of what you desire, honor the truth of what you're being moved towards, honor the movements that your soul is pushing you towards. And dude, don't underestimate cleaning out your closet. Don't underestimate taking more walks. Don't underestimate sitting in silence. We all know staring at the wall in silence, one of my favorite activities. Don't underestimate what your soul's saying this. It doesn't need to be enlightenment. It doesn't need to be saving the world. It can just be what's here for me right now. The purpose of being here is to be here as fully as possible, as wide awake as possible. And the Seven of Cups is don't let them trick you. Don't let them let you crash your boat on the rocks. And you know who I'm referring to when I say they. It can be a person in your field, in your community. It can be the people out there. It can be the energetics of the world. Whatever it is, there's something you want. There's something you know matters to you. And then there's the noise. There's what we see and what we take in. And then there's the true energy behind it. And the Seven of Cups says, don't you get confused. Don't you get confused. All right. I offer this card to you for the week. Put it on your altar, play with it, talk to it, meditate. It's a great card to take into your dream space because it's very focused on kind of the alternative stories and songs in our field. Great invitation to think about that mind movie I told you about, or to join me at the end of the month when I do a workshop on it. It's so fun, so cool, so inspiring. And it just, for me, I listen to it and I watch it first thing in the morning and I watch it for last thing at night. And it just brings me back. No siren song bullshit in my field, in my house. I know what I'm doing and I'm here for it. And I'm so lucky to be me living this life. Imperfect, perfect, messy, creative, like whatever the thing is, stuck, tired, resistant, like all the things. I am grateful for this. I am so grateful for this. And the Seven of Cups wants to remind you of that and says, don't let anyone distract you. All right, guys, Wild Ride 2025. Let's do this together. And just know that I send you so much love. And I just really invite you to listen to what you need, what's true for you, and let everything else work itself out. We are not the fixers of the whole world, and that's okay. And anything convincing you otherwise, invitation to get curious. What does that mean? Why? Why is that the story that I'm focused on right now? Okay. So much love to you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.